Yeah, it's really hard to follow up. I'm not a poet or, I don't have an expertise in everything and in anything. Just your regular Joe with depression. So I'm here to share a little anecdote. So the first time I smoked weed, I died. Well, not actually die, because otherwise I wouldn't be here. But I am draped in a white sheet, so you never know. The first time I smoked weed, I had a panic attack for 3 fucking hours. I was like, the funny thing is, I actually snuck in my friend and like a huge amount of weed when my parents were away at Bible camp. I was like, let's do some sinning tonight, baby. And I took so many hits. I was like, I'm not getting high, I'm not really feeling anything. And I went to change the music and I said, why am I running so fast? Eventually I got out of it, the 3 hours. During the 3 hours, a lot of things happened. I prayed to God. I tried calling the police. But my friend was like, no, you're gonna regret it. Just take a cold shower. And I said, okay, and I took off all my clothes and laid on the floor. I thought it was gonna be okay after that, and it was, until like a few months later, I was sitting at a restaurant and I felt like a jolt of panic. And the weed event was the only time I've ever had a panic attack. So I was like, okay, I'm familiar with this. My old friend, hello. But it wasn't actually just a panic attack. It was actually depersonalization. So if any of you lucky folks don't know what that is, it's when you feel like you are in a video game and everyone that you talk to is fake and that nothing is real. It's kind of like smoking weed, except you're not smoking weed and everything feels like shit. So I had that, and I was so scared because I went on online forums like I do every day regardless, and I was looking up how I'm gonna get out of it, and they're like, hey, you can't. It just happens if it happens. I've been suffering with it for 8 years. And I'm like, damn, that really sucks. And I remember that weekend I went to Canada with my grandparents, and I was sitting in a Chinese restaurant, and I was so miserable. And I remember that this is going to be it. Like, I'm such a weak person. I can't even deal with like a paper cut. No way I'm gonna deal with this for like 8 years. I sat there and I was like, I'm gonna kill myself. I'm gonna go out and I'm gonna run in front of our tour bus and I'm just gonna die with like 50 senior Chinese people looking at me. And that's the thing. The Chinese community, they're not very welcoming of mental illness. When I told my mom about what happened, she was like, it's because you're always on your damn phone. And like, it's because you drink too much cold water. So I had no support from my family, and I'm an only child, so like, they're all I got. That and my internet forums, all right, which aren't very helpful. But after 8 months of stuck in that miserable hell, I got out of it, and I suffered more panic attacks afterwards, but I think now I'm like, more closer to a functioning human being, and I don't know, like, I'm kind of glad that happened to me in a way, because I don't really have a choice. It's like, if I feel bad about it, who cares, it already happened, so I can only say that it made me feel good. I'm not a professional in anything, so take my words with a grain of salt, but in those times when I couldn't talk to my parents about it, or even like a professional therapist because I have no health insurance, shout out to America. I could only talk to my shitty school counselor who was like, have you tried running? Yes, I run every day for my responsibilities, but I'm not willing to put on a pair of sweatpants to run. So the only thing I did was just try really hard and like talk to people that were understanding, even if they were online. So I guess just have conversations. That's why I really appreciate this event. I'm glad that people are having discourse about it. So, talk to each other, send each other stupid memes about depression, even though they're not even that ironic, because you're like, hey, I need help. So, have discourse, send emails, AIM, Skype, just talk about it. That's all I can say because, I never shut up.